potting up our own succulent dish. So I've got my potting soil all ready to go here. It's already mixed up, and I've done a video on how I mix up my potting soil. It's specifically for growing cactus and succulents. So I'll post a link to that video below. I also have my roll of screen. You can get a roll of screen like this at any home improvement store. I got this at Lowe's for like $6. And I use this, I'll just cut pieces out of this and I'll use it to put over the drainage holes at the bottom of my pot, so that way you don't lose soil through the large drainage holes. This is just a large, low profile succulent dish, and I've got my piece of screen, so just press that into the bottom. I'm gonna grab my gloves and put some soil in here. So when I'm potting up a succulent dish, I like to go by a few different guidelines. One is contrast and repetition of the colors as you're kind of moving around and sort of building your succulent dish. Another idea that you can go by is a thriller, a spiller, and a filler. Like a thriller would be something that's sort of the centerpiece or that really catches the eye. A filler would be something that sort of, fills in the extra space. And then a spiller would be one that kind of cascades over the edge. So I'm just going to kind of go through some of my succulents. Sometimes I'll pull them out of the pots and sort of just set them in there and see which ones sort of look good together. And before I replant, I just pull away and clean up any old dead leaves, just remove those. So my soil is mounded in the center and it's lower around the edges. I'm going to start with my biggest piece, which is my thriller, and that's my large Echeveria here. And I'm just going to put this right in the center, and then we'll work our way around it. I think I'm going to do kind of a blue lavender sort of thing, or we'll see if we can stick with that anyway. And these Perle von Nurnbergs are so pretty. They have such a gorgeous lavender, sometimes some pink. They're just a really pretty Echeveria. So this one I think I'm going to place kind of in the front here. Here's another really pretty Echeveria. It's got kind of the lavender pink on the edge. So I'm just going to set this one here. I'm not sure where I want to plant it yet. I'm going to grab a couple others and kind of play around with it. Here's a nice ground cover or sedum. This would be a great filler. It has super tiny rosettes. I'm going to break this one in half. Okay, so we might place some there. Do another little piece maybe on that side. Let's put this piece in front. I'll move this one back here. I need some more repetition here with the lavender, so let me see what else I can find in a lavender color. I couldn't find any more lavender Echeveria or lavender color succulents that I wanted to use. I do have some cuttings, but those aren't ready to be planted today. Those have to callus over still. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with this one, which is kind of sunset colors, sort of some pinks and peaches, some pale greens, a little bit of pale blue. So it's kind of got a whole mix of colors, and I think it'll fit in here too. We're just gonna put this one on the side. Since we kind of changed our color scheme a little with this one, which is more sunset colors, I'm going to add this other Perle von Nurnberg, which is a little more peachy and sunset colored too. So I'm going to put this Perle von Nurnberg kind of opposite our other sunset color, so about right here. Let's move this one out of the way for now. I had this poor little donkey's tail or burro's tail that isn't looking too hot right now. It was a little neglected, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it anyway. I try to be careful with these because they drop their leaves so easily. You can see right on the ends here, it's lost some of its leaves already from where it was before. But luckily they propagate pretty easily from those leaves. So if you just save them, and then, well, maybe we should do a propagating video sometime. So let me know if you guys want to see that. I'm going to add a couple of these. I don't think these are all connected in here. I think we can separate those. So I'm not sure. This is not an Echeveria. It may be a Sedum. I'm not sure. I got this at the swap meet, so sometimes it takes me a little while to find out what something is. So I'm just going to split those up, and we'll just make them kind of peeking out from the edge there. Got the other group right here. So I've got all my succulents in here, and I'm going to finish it off with a top dressing. So I'm just going to add some of these little smooth stones. I might add some sand to fill in a little bit too. And then I'll just take a brush, just a little paintbrush, and kind of clear off any, debris that got into the rosettes. Since I ended up using a lot of Echeverias for this succulent display, I'll be keeping it outside most of the time, but if you want to have it inside, I would just do it temporarily. Otherwise, Echeverias can start stretching out if they don't get enough sunshine and light. They'll probably be happier outdoors, maybe on a balcony as a display, or patio would be great too.